Thank you so much for joining me, Juan. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well, but maybe not as much as you. You obviously have this big fight coming up here with Greg Hardy. What was your reaction when your manager came to you and offered up the name Greg Hardy?
My first reaction was hell yeah, and I was shocked. I really did not think this fight was ever happen, but I'm very glad that it is.
It's not as it is. Obviously, it's a big fight on paper. We've got two big personalities. Everybody has their big opinions. Does it feel like a big fight for you?
Uh, yes and no. It feels like a very big fight in the fact that it's the highest profile fight in my career, but it's probably the least skilled opponent of my professional career.
So is it fair to say this is like the biggest fight in terms of, I guess, the hype and everything, but at the same time, the easiest fight for you out in the cage?
Yeah, definitely.
So what does a win here do for you? I assume that's another one to the highlight reel, and I guess that's one that gets people talking.
Yeah, I'm looking. This one's going to obviously, boost my pay grade. It will boost it's going to boost my visibility, my following, all of that. It'll be great for exposure for me. I don't see it as a true test inside the octagon, but it's definitely going to build my career. Typically we try to always fight the best guy available, but coming off of a loss, you can't really be too picky about who they give you. I'm just happy that we get a quick turnaround.
So why do you think the UFC came to you with this opponent? Is this because they saw the potential for a big fight? Are they trying to build you up? Are they trying to build Greg up? Well, what's sort of your mindset as to maybe why they picked this fight?
I don't really know 100%. If I had to think, on one hand, you got me, who, some fans might be annoyed with that I talk a lot on Twitter. I'm squeaky wheel, gets the grease, closed mouth, don't get fed. So,
Yeah.
and I gotta keep talking until I get these fights. So it gets to a point where people want to fight me. And for him, they got this guy that a lot of people don't like. As much as they try to push him, people just don't like him. Um, so, I think it's a win-win situation for them. Either, I do well the hype train, or, he knocks out a loudmouth and finally, they get a legitimate opponent for him, one that fans can't really gripe too much about. So, all in all, it's just a win-win situation for them. The way I'm seeing it is, he asked for this fight, but they are not taking it seriously. Him and his camp think it's going to be an easy win for him. So I'm going to prove them wrong and, hit this man in the face.
And what's your social media looking like ahead of this fight? I assume you have some, I guess, some people that are cheering for you, but I assume, does he have fans that are coming after you?
You know, uh, Greg's got like what 20 fans total. Some of the fans are coming after me. I mute them all on Twitter, on Facebook, or on Instagram. I just block them. I just don't have time for it. My thing is, his fans are just dumb. They're not intelligent at all. People that cheer for Greg Hardy are dumb. They're not real MMA fans. They're not knowledgeable in sport. They're casuals. Plain and simple. But you know, all eyes are dead eyes in this sport, so I can get switch them over to being my fan base after I beat his ass, and that's the goal. Um, most of his fans are. It's funny, like they're all guys, and
Yeah, I
they're
mean, yeah.
all the ones that I've experienced are like dudes mid 30s and up that are involuntarily celibate, and then you know sub 20-year-old virgins that are upset with women because they don't want to sleep with them. That seems to be the extent of Greg Hardy's fan base right there. Or the rest of them are clearly have some type of disability. So I don't really, I just don't pay mind to that. That's not my demographic. That's not my target group.
That's
So
fair.
when they're exposed, that just kind of mute them out here.
And when people they describe Greg Hardy, they tend to say, he's got a lot of power. Obviously, he's got the knockouts. He's athletic and stuff like that. From what you've seen, would you sort of agree with that kind of analysis, or do you think maybe people are a little bit off the mark when they describe him?
I think they're very off the mark. He is athletic. I'll give him that. though, you can't really judge that because the only like clean knockout he's had came against Austin Lane, who's 6'4", 240 pounds and built like a twig, so that's not saying much. He was going in on Alan Crowder, and Crowder walked him down and told him to hit him harder. So it's the other knockouts that he's had haven't been from clean connections or him landing clean punches. It's been from guys being afraid of him, and he touches them, they just ball up. That's not how I fight. I don't ball up, even when I've been here. That's just not how I fight. So it'll be interesting for sure to see how he deals with that, but it's hard to really gauge his power. We're going off of the best case or worst case scenario for me is that the right hand is powerful. He can still. That's only one way that he can be. That's the only way he can be.
And so you are obviously a big and very imposing guy, probably the biggest opponent he's faced. Do you think that's gonna, pull in your favor more because you might be able to take more shots than maybe most of his opponents have in the past?
Oh, hands down. I also think that he's the type of guy that can do well when he's got a severe physical advantage over who he's fighting, better that be his ex-girlfriend or cage.
For sure, man. Let's move on a little bit from Greg Hardy. Unfortunately, you did take, I think your last fight was your first loss. Obviously, not a very good experience, I'm sure. What do you sort of take away from that fight?
It was a tough loss for me. I didn't react the way I thought I would to it, mainly because most of the people I know argued that I won the fight. It wasn't impressive enough for performance for me to go around screaming I was robbed or any of that. I don't feel that it was really a robbery. I feel like the judges, I fought one fight and the judges scored it a different way. So what I learned from that, is there's a lot mentally that I still need to work on in this game. That was one of those days I just didn't show up to fight. There was a lot of stuff going on backstage and everything that kind of took me out of my zone, out of my mindset. And I can't allow that to happen again. And also, what I did learn was that I got 3 rounds in me, I can throw high volume. I've got, the endurance to do it. So we just got to fine-tune little things, work on it, and work on showcasing, making sure things look a little bit cleaner. And, it got me back to my wrestling. I'm wrestling again now a lot more frequently, training a lot more. And, it's the first time in a long time that I've had any type of enthusiasm when I go to work out.
And I think I saw on your social media, is it true that you're losing weight, you're starting to get lighter and I think more in shape, if I'm quoting it correctly?
Yeah, it's one of those things about living a lifestyle, and I've had to kind of take my nutrition a lot more seriously this time around. Normally I would get up to about 305, 310 between fights. I stopped at 288 this time. I'm walking around at 280 right now. So we're just going from there, learning little things and fine-tuning things each camp to see what works. We're still really young in my career, so we're still trying to find out what exactly works and what I perform best at.
I know you mentioned your diet, but one of my favorite things to do is after you've weighed in, I like to go on your social media and look at that snack haul afterwards. It's always something very impressive. Is that over with? I mean, are we not going to be able to see that anymore?
You might see it. I just won't eat them. Before I would do the snack haul right after my weigh-in, I would eat all of that after the weigh-in. Where it'll be a little bit less impressive quantity-wise. The quality will definitely still be there. I'm going to save it for after the fight.
I'm not going to lie to you, I'd be a little bit disappointed if the haul this time was like, a salad with a grilled chicken breast. It'd be a little bit disappointing.
Definitely not. Definitely no. I'll have my trifecta food there, and then I'll have the next slide, and I'll do after that and fight.
And so one thing that I was curious about that I want to ask you directly while I have you, after you eat snacks like that, how do you feel physically? I mean, do you feel like that affects your performance at all, or is it just something you get to enjoy before the fight?
It's just something I enjoy before the fight. I do gain more weight, so I look fatter. But I don't feel slower or anything like that. But then again, I've done it every fight, so I wouldn't know. This fight,
Okay,
we're
that's
not going
fair.
to do that. We're not going to do it and see if it makes me perform a little bit better. And if we like the results, we'll switch it to an after fighting as opposed to that way.
For sure. And I thought I saw somewhere. Is it true that you're an NBA fan?
Yeah, huge NBA fan.
Huge NBA fan. Reason I ask is because, of course, free agency started a couple of days ago. That day was nuts. What did you think of everything on free agency?
I was pretty happy with where everyone ended up, except for Jimmy Butler. I really
Yeah.
want to see him come and rock it, but it could be a blessing in disguise for us. Still interested to see where Kawhi ends up, but I wasn't shocked that I am shocked that Brooklyn got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, but they both went to the money. What I was really shocked about is Julius Randle to the Knicks.
Yeah.
That was pretty. But it's mixed for an exciting season. I'm really excited to see where the NBA season goes next year.
Yeah, Julius Randle, it's disappointing because, they were getting Zion, then they're getting Kevin Durant, and now they have Julius Randle.
Yeah, well, Julius Randle was that dude coming out of college, so you never know. Maybe he'll find his revive his career over in New York.
Yeah, for sure. And are you a Houston Rockets fan?
Yeah, huge Houston Rockets fan.
So let me ask you, what does Houston do about Chris Paul? Do you hang on to Chris Paul, or is it time to trade the man?
We could trade him if the sign trade deal. That would be ideal because we lose a lot of cap space and we can get more pieces. But if Chris Paul can return to the Chris Paul from 2 years ago, that would be ideal. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it works out. See how him and James do with another year together, and hopefully they figure it all out by playoff time.
All right, and one last thing about in the NBA. What did you think about Golden State losing in 6 to the Raptors in the finals?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. It was great because it's weird. I don't dislike. Only player on Golden State I don't like really was Kevin Durant and Draymond Green.
Yeah.
The issues I have with Golden State is really more so the off-the-court stuff. I don't like how Steph Curry's wife was saying all the stuff she was saying.
Yeah.
Like that. I thought it was, very low class, and I thought it was very, I thought they disrespectful stuff. So, but he didn't see it that way. That's their marriage, their relationship. They can do whatever they want. I'm just saying, I didn't like it. So I'm very happy to see them lose. I made a joke about it on Facebook saying, ladies, this is why you don't do attention-seeking behavior. Curry did it, and their man lost the finals.
Oh man, yeah. I imagine your social media between the 20 Greg Hardy fans and the Ayesha Curry fans, it must be getting pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, but I don't shy away from that. I kind of invite a lot of it onto myself with the persona that I exude on my social media. My persona is different on each social media slightly, so I have fun with it. I don't take it that seriously. I don't feel other people should either.
All right, man. This fight with Greg Hardy. What are you expecting out of this fight? What can we expect? Can we expect a brawl? Can we expect a quick knockout? What are you sort of expecting fight-wise?
It's going to be a one-sided assault on him from me. That's all it's going to be. I'm going to prove why he doesn't belong in the UFC, and I'm going to embarrass this man.
All right, and keeping along with that, just one more for you. How do you see this fight playing out? What's the official result? How does Juan Adams get it done?
I see it being a first-round TKO, honestly. Second round at the latest. If he doesn't tap to strikes, he's not going to answer the bell.
All right, well, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great fight. I know I was excited when they announced it, so I'm glad it's happening. Thanks so much for the time, Juan. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Have a good one.